Hi, Valerie Isan here. Thanks for listening to the Indie Author Mentor Show. Today is, I didn't even look, the 17th of April 2019 as I record this. And I'm happy to report that my taxes are done, but I worked on them all day Monday and Sunday too. The day before I worked on them Sunday and Monday, and then my husband came home from work and worked on them until 11:35 p.m. and filed. So he got it in under the deadline by 30 minutes. It was pretty funny. So once again, I'm already in the second quarter of the year, but I keep telling myself I'm not going to do it this way next year. I'm not going to do it this way next year. So I am hopefully going to amend my ways. We'll see. I'll report later if it actually happens or not. In my personal update, maybe you can hear it, I have been suffering a head cold, and I feel like today is the first day my head is a bit clearer. It started on Friday, so all weekend I was just not feeling well, and I stayed home from work on Monday and Tuesday. And had dogs on my lap, and Monday I read all day long, finished a novel I had been working on, and yesterday I did a lot of journaling, and Mondays are generally my CEO planning days. And I, work on education and things like that, things that will continue to add value to my business. And I think it's really important to have that planning space in your week so that you can continually work on looking into the future of your business needs and goals and where you want your business to end up in. So I did that on Tuesday when I was feeling a little more clear in the head. On Saturday, despite having a wretched cold, I had already signed up for this workshop I went to in Portland, Oregon with the lovely Becca Syme. You may know that name from the Smarty Pants marketing podcast. Her mom, Chris Syme, and her, Becca, did the podcast together for many years. And now Becca does she does a YouTube cast, and I just blanked on the name of it. I didn't write it down. I think it has, she just wrote a book called Dear Writer. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I'm going to chalk this up to head cold brain. So I'm going to look it up really quick and tell you what the name of it is. Books for Writers. So she has the betterfasteracademy.com. So you can look her up there. She has online classes, and her book for writers, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. So yeah, Smarty Pants Book Marketing Podcast, that's great. I totally recommend that as a resource. But she has shifted to teaching her own classes. Why can't I find this? I'm so sorry. Let me look it up really quick. Dear Writer, You Should Quit, I think. You Need to Quit. Dear Writer, You Need to Quit. That's the name of the book. And so the YouTube channel has some variation of that in the title. The Quit Cast, I think is what she calls it. Okay, so other things I wanted to say about that was I went to that class on Saturday, and it was amazing. I totally didn't expect that. I thought it would be a class on productivity, but it was actually bashing productivity myths and how really the way that you can be a stronger writer is by focusing on your strengths and and doing this, it's called a Gallup Clifton Strengths Finder test. I don't know if you've heard of that or not. The people that do Gallup poll run it, and I took the test just to see what my strengths were, and the rest of the class in the afternoon had to deal with how to use those specific strengths for your writing career. It was really fascinating, and I highly recommend anything that Becca teaches at the Better Faster Academy. So I signed up for one of her classes, and it starts today. It's called Strengths for Writers, and I will report back on my fun and adventure through that class as well. So again, you can find about Becca Syme on her website, betterfasteracademy.com. And if you want to find her on social media, she goes by R.L. Syme on social media. Okay, also, this is so funny. At the event, at the workshop, there was a silent auction to raise money for RWA, the Romance Writers of America, which I'm not a romance writer, but I wanted to take the class, so I just went to their meeting. And there was a silent auction, and the money was going towards it was pro-literacy, and my dogs are going to go barking like crazy. I forgot to close the door to my office, and the mailman is here, so I apologize for dog barking in the background. And I just lost my train of thought. Cold brain, dog barking effect. So I won 2 of the baskets from the silent auction. I bid on 2 of them, and I won both of them, which is great, but also I kind of wish that I'd only won one. But the money goes to literacy, so it's all for a good cause, and everything's cool. And the baskets are really cool. I got lots of books and chocolate and office supplies and a Bluetooth speaker and paper and journals and, all the fun things that writers love. So it was kind of like a, yay, Christmas! Okay, I think that's it for my personal update. I'm really excited to start the class today. After I'm done with this, I'm going to jump into the first lesson. And I think that's it for my personal update. So today what I want to talk to you about, I'm going to keep this way shorter. One of the things that's cool about starting a new project like podcasting is, for me, is learning as you go and getting better as you go. And so I have subscribed to my own podcast on my Apple Podcasts feed, and I listen to this podcast, and it's kind of humbling, and I feel like I've been rambling a little bit in the actual meat and potatoes of the podcast topic. And so I don't want to do that. I want this to be a valuable, useful resource for you. So I'm going to try and keep these episodes actually shorter and go through less tips in the future. So today, what I'm going to talk to you about is mostly front matter in your book. When you're writing the book and you're getting ready for publication, maybe you don't think about the other pages that are in the book that don't have to do with the topic that you're writing on, whether it's fiction or non. And one of those pages is like the dedication page or the acknowledgments page. And so if you want your book to be that on par of a traditionally published book, then you need to have all those extra pages in there too, because it just looks kind of weird if you open up a book and those pages aren't there, because traditionally they are. So, and it's fun to, write a dedication page. So make sure you've included a dedication page and an acknowledgments page. And also I want to remind you that if you are a patron, then, and if you're a patron at the $5 level at patreon.com/Valerie Isan, then you will get your name in all my published books in the acknowledgments section. So that might help you head over to patreon.com/Valerie Isan and and see if there are any benefits tiers that you feel like would really help you, because I do want all of the work that I do to be helpful to you. Okay, so another thing that you can include in your book pages in your front, or this would be in the back matter after the book, would be book club questions. And so this would obviously be genre specific. If you're writing sci-fi, fantasy, probably there isn't going to be any book club questions because generally it's not a book that is read in a lot of book clubs. That said, you can include them in any book that you write if you want to start conversations about the topics that are in your book. Maybe you did write a thriller, but it has to do with racism, or something with a theme that you really want people to talk about afterwards. And so if you want to get that conversation going, you can start by having a list of questions in the back of your book that will start that conversation. So one other thing, that this isn't in the back of your book, but I created this for my novel for my mailing list subscribers. So it's a free gift based on what you've taken out of the final copy of your book. What I mean by that is like deleted scenes from, like on a DVD in the special bonus sections, they've got deleted scenes or bloopers or, whatever, something like that. So I found that while I was editing my copy of The Scent of Apple Tea, there were 3 scenes, maybe 2, I can't remember now, 2 or 3 scenes that I ended up taking out of the book because they just didn't carry the story forward. They really had no business being in there. They were wonderfully written, of course, and I thought they were fascinating. The information. One of the scenes, for instance, was one of the main characters was changing the strings on her banjo. It had nothing to do with the story, but I researched about how to do that, and I included all the vocabulary, so if somebody was a banjo player and they were reading it, they would totally know what I was talking about, and I put a lot of time and effort and thought into it, and I thought it was a beautiful scene, but it didn't carry the story forward, and it didn't really contribute to the character development of Heather, so I pulled the scene. So when you have a complete scene that you just end up pulling and you don't put in the book any other way, then so that it doesn't feel like you've wasted it, you can give it away. And so I packaged up 3 of these deleted scenes, made a nice cover for it in canva.com, and I uploaded it to bookfunnel.com, which is a fabulous service that delivers ebooks. And so this was a micro ebook. So it delivers ebooks to people with all the directions, and it's instead of having to describe how to sideload, a Mobi file into your Kindle or something like that, BookFunnel makes it super easy for receivers to get that book on their e-reading device without any heartache. And also, if they do run into any problems at all, their customer service is the one that deals with it and not you. So it saves you, the author, a lot of heartache in delivery technology questions that maybe you wouldn't even know how to answer anyway. So yeah, I took those scenes, edited them really well, put a cover on them, put them in BookFunnel, and then I sent out the link to my mailing list subscribers just as a free gift. And it was kind of like, hey, I'm writing this book, it's almost ready. Here's some deleted scenes from the book, kind of to like get them excited about the launch day. So that's a cool idea for you. Also, when you're formatting that micro ebook, you can use Vellum, which is a software. I don't know if I've talked about it yet or not. That is available for Mac only, but it's a beautiful kind of template software. You can choose loads of different templates, and it makes a really beautiful ebook. But if you don't have Mac or you don't want to pay, full price for that software, then you can use Draft to Digital's free book editor, which is also fabulous. And actually, that's where I tell all my students to go, is to use drafttodigital.com. Also, Readsy.com has a book editor as well. So either one of those free options will allow you to format your ebook for free. Okay. Something else that we should talk about in your front and back matter, this is really important if you're trying to build your mailing list, is to have an invitation to your mailing list by offering something of value to them for free. So you're going to have a free book offer or a free report offer, or something that you're giving them of value for free in exchange for their email address and to be put on the mailing list. And you need to make it clear that they are receiving the free gift, but then they are also being put on your mailing list. Or you can make it optional, but the whole point of putting the free book offer in your book is to get that email address. So, for instance, my reader magnet is my novel, The Scent of Apple Tea. So in my memoir, Smell the Blue Sky, I have in the very front, I've got a free book offer in bold, centered on the top of the page. It says free book offer. There's a copy of the cover of the book so they can see what the book cover looks like. And then there's the book description so they know, what kind of genre and what the story's about. And then there is, actually that's it for the front matter. In the back of the book, the same offer is there, but it also includes the link to go to my website. So the reason the link goes in the back of the book is if you've got your book up on Amazon, for instance, they have that look inside feature. So if someone's trying to decide whether or not to purchase a book from you, and they click on the look inside feature, and they see, first off, that you're offering them a free book, they might ditch the one for sale and go over on the link and get the free book instead of purchasing your book. So, and maybe you don't care about that. Maybe you're just trying to build your mailing list and it doesn't matter how many books you sell, which is also a useful and good business strategy for you if that's what you're choosing. But if you have the link in the back of the book, then they know it's coming because they have like the half offer at the beginning, but then the link is in the back. So they'll buy the book, they'll read the book, then at the end of the book, thanks for reading the book. I hope you liked it. I hope it was useful. Please leave a review. If you liked the book, here is a link to go leave a review. And then the next page is the free book offer with the link to go to your website to get the free book. So those pages need to be in there as well. And I kind of skimmed over that review request page, which was going to be my next point. But one thing I wanted to add to that was a good idea is to put a universal book link into that review request page. And a universal book link is something that Draft to Digital offers for their authors for free. And the UBL is really cool because, well, for one thing, if you're going wide and you upload your books to Apple Books and to Kobo, like Apple Books is not going to they're not going to accept your upload of your file if it has an Amazon link in it because they want you to link to Apple Books, not anything to Amazon because they're competitors. Same thing with Kobo. So you can't put an active link going to a store that's not the one you're uploading to, if that makes any sense. So if you use a universal book link, that is a link that takes them to a third website or another website. So it kind of bypasses that loophole, I guess. I don't know how to say that. Let me describe Universal Book Links a little bit better. So you go to Draft to Digital and click on the tab for Universal Book Links. It actually takes you to another website, which is their website called books2read.com, and the 2 is a numeral. So either drafttodigital.com or books2read.com will get you to the Universal Book Link section. And so how you get a Universal Book Link is to type in anywhere your book is available for sale. And since this is pre-publication, if you have like a pre-order, that would work too. So just any place that would get your book, that would have your book for sale, you enter that website in, and then what happens is this service, they kind of trawl the whole, they spider out all their robots through the whole web and find all of the places on the internet where your book is for sale. And so when a person clicks on the Universal Book Link, it will come up to a really beautiful landing page with the cover of your book and the book description, and it will have icon buttons for all of the different stores where it's available, and the purchaser can click on one of those icons, which then allows the customer to choose that as their default store. So anytime they click on any Universal Book Link from you, it'll automatically just go to that default store of choice without having to go through that extra step of clicking on a store icon. But anyway, so check that out. That's totally free. Draft to Digital provides that for all their authors. And then on that review request page in the back of your book, when you ask them to leave a review, you can leave that Universal Book Link, and when they click on it, since it's not a link to any competing store, it's a link to a landing page somewhere else, it kind of bypasses that rule. So you don't have to go into every book file and change, okay, this is the one I'm uploading to Kobo because it has the Kobo link, and this is the one I'm uploading to Amazon because this has got the Amazon link, and this is the one you see what I'm saying? It will just totally save you all of that time. Okay, that is all I'm going to have in this episode. I really want to keep these short, and I've hit the 22-minute mark, so that's plenty of time. I hope that these tips are useful and that you can take them into your own publishing journey and get your books out there. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment on this episode in the comment section for the episode on the website, or you can email me direct, Valerie at ValerieIhsanAuthor.com, and Ihsan is IHSAN. So I will see you next week, and in the meantime, happy publishing, happy writing, and I hope you stay safe and comfortable and not with a head cold. Be well. See you next week.